We're at the iconic Rowrah circuit here in Cumbria for the latest round of the Super 1 British Karting Championships. We're halfway through the season and the competition is as fierce as ever. First race up this weekend is for IAME Cadet, and joining me, two of the main protagonists had a great weekend at Larkhall, ARVID LINDBLAD and Maxwell Dodds. Now Max, I want to ask you first. Obviously you've made the change from Strawberry Racing to Oliver Rowland's team. What was you thinking behind that?
Well, obviously, Waz and the guys at Strawberry were really great, and obviously they gave us such a good opportunity, but Ollie gave us a great reason for us to join the team, and obviously Ollie has really helped us to really continue with my driving, and obviously really helped me as a better driver. And obviously in the team, me and Arvid have a great opportunity together to really be right up the front and pushing for the championship. Yeah, absolutely. And Arvid, Max has just indicated there that obviously better working with a two if you've got a teammate to work with, because you guys pretty much were working, you were sort of working on your own, you were working on your own, you were Strawberry with ORM, but then you had the Fusion guys working together. What's that meant to you, having Max come into the team? I guess it's sort of made your job slightly easier, although of course you've got a teammate to try and beat as well. But obviously at Larkhall that worked really well. But for those that don't understand karting, just explain a little bit about why it's important to try and work with a teammate if you can in cadet karting.
Well, yeah, with Max in the team, it's been a real advantage for me and so for him, because we can work together and use each other. So to fight the Will and Freddie. And the competition has really got much harder, and it's been really, really good at the moment. But with the teammate, it makes it much easier. You can push really well in this in the cadet class. It's a real advantage, and that's why
just on that subject. I know. I mean, years ago, obviously, cadet karting, you would literally, you're talking about pushing, literally putting your front nose cone on the rear bumper of the cart in front. How has the detachable nose cones change that dynamic?
Well, with the nose cone you can still push, but if you hit someone really hard from behind, you could push it in. So you need to like lift off and then push them. But still, you don't lose or anything from the.
Okay, and Larkhall, great result for you, of course. You came out on top. Still a long way to go in the championship. What would it mean to you to win this championship? I mean, we're talking about Oliver Rowland, of course, one of the most famous cadet drivers, the only cadet driver, I think, in history to win back-to-back cadet championships. Ollie, I remember him when he was sort of 11, 12 years of age, 13 years of age. He was very small, so able to carry on in the cadet class. What would it mean to you to try and emulate, and you, Max, as well? I'll ask you the same question, to emulate what Ollie did all those years ago.
Yeah, it would feel amazing for me to do the same as my team boss. I don't think we'll be in it again next year if I win this year, but it'll be an amazing feeling to win, and I've always wanted to be on top.
And what about you, Max, as well? This your last year in cadet, I think, as well?
Yeah, it is. Obviously, we've been, for like most of my time in IAME, obviously this has been the goal to try and win it. Obviously it's going to be hard this year, but with Ollie helping me and Arvid helping me, maybe we could do it, and it would be amazing if we could.
Okay, guys, well, your final's about to come up. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is going to be a tough one. It's Rowrah, and we've got Dodds and McIntyre on the front row from Phillips and Keeble. LINDBLAD is fifth alongside his teammate Brandon Carr. Burgoyne Jr. and Robinson from Neat and Luke Watts. Big news, though, is that Freddie Slater is down the order after an earlier exclusion, and that pretty much causes him all sorts of mayhem. Look, right on the back row alongside his teammate Oliver Wright. So this is going to be an interesting fight back for those two. as we get ourselves underway here at Rowrah. This is going to be an interesting one. Slippery conditions, heavy drizzle, away we go, and into that first corner. It's already going to be a tough one to get there first, but into the lead, no problem at all for Max Dodds as they tiptoe their way through those first chicane and then up towards McRae's. This is going to be an interesting one, as into second position already has slotted Vinnie Phillips. He's made the move on teammate Will McIntyre. And Max Dodds, second in the championship, leads the race. If it finishes like this, though, he will only be a handful of points behind his teammate LINDBLAD. But into the lead has come Vinnie Phillips. He made the move there. McIntyre's on the grass. ARVID LINDBLAD trying to get himself back into contention. Really exciting stuff on this first lap as they come through the chicane at the stewardesses for the first time.
The championship leader there in fourth place, and it could have been a lot worse there, Jake, as he got two wheels on the grass. That could have gone all sorts of pear-shaped there. Will McIntyre there currently third, race winner at round two. He'll be looking to take his second win of the championship season.
Nice bit of a squeezing there as Archie Clark keeps Charlie ripping it. But look at this great battling as LINDBLAD is going to try and pursue Max Dodds through, and McIntyre is thrown out to the outside there. His hand is in the air. What were you guys doing? And through comes Brandon Carr past ARVID LINDBLAD into third position. A nice move from Harley Keeble puts him into the top five in that lot as well. Keeble now trying to fend off McIntyre. McIntyre through to the inside as LINDBLAD has made the move for third position and up on the grass. That's not gone well for Brandon Carr. He somehow gets away with it, but now Leo Robinson's going to come through on the inside, and Luke Watts is there as well. They've both got by, and very nearly Aidan Neat gets through as well. So Aidan Neat is in there. It looks like Ashton Hodgson and Ella Stevens are in close company on the grass for Robinson. Tricky conditions really spice things up.
Yeah, you're not kidding, Jake. It's heavy drizzle and winds sideways at 25 mile an hour. I say sideways, of course, winds are always sideways pretty much, aren't they? But that drives the wind sideways, or the rain sideways rather, and it gets into everything, including the camera lenses. Vinnie Phillips is the new race leader.
And that's a lovely move from McIntyre to get up the inside of LINDBLAD. He's had a stellar lap. He came across the line in sixth place. He's now in P3. McIntyre in front of LINDBLAD, Keeble, Watts, Carr, Neat, Burgoyne Jr., Robinson, Hodgson and Freddie Slater, who's moved up to 12. What a comeback.
He's already made up 6.
Oh, that's a lead change. Maxwell Dodds up on the inside of Vinnie Phillips. So that's a big one for the championship. Dodds is past Phillips. Phillips is not going to work with him. He's going to come straight back on the inside, and Vinnie Phillips is going to take the lead. So brilliant battling at the front of this field. Dodds is going to come straight back. 2 wheels on the grass. He wants to get alongside. Phillips squeezes him out. Don't even think about it. And now Dodds is going to try and get into the hairpin. Let's have another look at what happened earlier on. This is Vinnie Phillips trying to hold off Dodds.
Maxwell Dodds down the inside, and he's pretty lucky here. He's got a championship to think about. 2 wheels on the grass. Oh, he gets away with it, but that's fortunate. Vinnie Phillips has a look at him and thinks, well, if you want to come up the inside there, my friend, you can do so.
Well, that's Dodds having got through into the lead. So Dodds has got back through, and now LINDBLAD gets back into third position in front of McIntyre, and Luke Watts, who is there in fifth position. A great job from Luke Watts in the top 5 as these two still squabble away. Sixth position is Aidan Neat from Carr, Keeble, Robinson. Slater now up to 10th from Burgoyne Jr., Shaw. Then it is Hodgson, MJ Canini, Charlie Rippon, Archie Clark, and the leading privateer again, Ella Stevens, doing a cracking job. She is one of the highly ranked cadets in the country now, and she's doing a grand job in there. Now, up the inside, that's going to be a late lunge for Watts. He saw an opportunity as McIntyre drifted wide, but there was no way he was going to let him get by. Keep an eye on Brandon Carr, actually. He's looking pretty hectic in there behind Aidan Neat, and that's going to be a dive for the move at the inside. Thwarted there as Vinnie Phillips hangs on to second. From a long way back, LINDBLAD tried to get the move there, but it was not going to happen. Now he's going to have to try and fend off McIntyre. But at the front, it's Oliver Rowland Motorsport, Fusion Motorsport, Oliver Rowland Motorsport, Fusion Motorsport. These are the two teams that are going to be battling for this throughout, and they are absolutely on it in the top 4.
Through Paddock Bend, this is the final turn on the circuit.
You can't see on that final
you can
camera.
see the water sitting. Any camera that's facing this way, the wind is 25 mile an hour. It's fine drizzle, but it just goes straight onto the lens. Nothing the cameraman can do about it, unfortunately. This camera
look, McIntyre's got 2 into 1. Look at that. That was beautifully done. He thought he was making a move on one of them. He's got past both LINDBLAD and Phillips, and now Phillips is through into third. Lindblad's having to fight back on Watts, and he's taken Aidan Neat with him. Watts is the one who really gets shunted down the order in all of that. He's dropped down to, what is that now, 6th position, because he's got Brandon Carr to deal with now. And going wide, the leader, Maxwell Dodds, managing to hang on to it, but that was pretty tight stuff, and it's absolute skittles as they battle away for 3rd position now. Here comes an opportunity. Brandon Carr trying to get away from these guys as Watts defends up on the inside. That's Harley Keeble round the outside. He cuts across on the 57 of Aidan Neat, and to be fair, Harley Keeble's already had a fairly dramatic weekend. On Friday, he went topsy-turvy. That video's gone viral already. He was rolled over in very dramatic style, but how he's continuing on is absolutely incredible. But check out this top 10. They are still squabbling away and still changing positions left, right and centre.
Slater's made up 20 places from 28th to 8th. That's the quality of this young man. You can see him in the background there, the white suit, the O plate, the British Open champion. Sam Shaw has come from 26 to 11, so he's made up 15 as well. And you can do that in these conditions, of course. If you've got the right setup on the kart and you like the conditions, it's easier generally to make up places in the wet than it is in the dry.
Well, interesting, as they run down to the Stuart S's, they have to go down the middle of the circuit. They're not on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side. They go down the middle, and then they charge for the inside line. That's a beautiful move from Watts there on the inside of Brandon Carr, and the O-plate, Freddie Slater's next. Goodness me, he is desperately trying to hang on to his championship lead. Now he's going to sort himself out up the inside on Brandon Carr, and that puts him up in a 6th position. Good move there from Freddie Slater. He is now the top 6.
Oliver Wright in 16th place has also come from, 27th, so he's made up 11 as well, so having a good drive. Not seeing much of him. He is down the field, but having a good day. Slater up the inside.
That was very ambitious, and Watson Phillips have pitched sideways. Slater has to back out of that one to avoid a penalty, but that has cost him a place because Brandon Carr's got back through. Slater immediately back up the inside, taking Aidan Neat along with him. Terrific scrapping in IAME Cadet. All you have to do to spice things up in one of the best championships in Great Britain is throw a little bit of moisture on the circuit, because these guys really are absolutely on it. And through all of that, Luke Watts has come back into 4th position. Cracking try from Luke Watts. He's trying to fend off some of the works drivers in brilliant fashion.
Championship points, guys, in case you've not watched before, championship points live are updated live as the drivers cross the start-finish line, top left of your screen. These are the championship points. At the final round, drivers can drop their worst score of the season, and those championship points will update, taking into account those drop scores. Such is the quality of this system we have here from Tag Heuer. It's a great system, and at the moment, as you can see, ARVID LINDBLAD has a 2-point championship lead over the race leader, Maxwell Dodds.
Yeah, runner-up last year. LINDBLAD was a one-man band with the brand new team Oliver Rowland Motorsport. It clearly works because they've now got 4 drivers up at the front end in the 2018 season. It's the newest team on the grid. It's Oliver Rowland Motorsport, of course, run by the same 2-time British Cadet champion, of course. Back-to-back seasons he did it in, on his way to becoming a Williams F1 test driver and Le Mans 24-hour racer. So this man knows what he's doing in terms of bringing the kids up, and I've spoken to a lot of the drivers in that particular team. They are very satisfied as the O-plate makes the move there. Slater on teammate Vinnie Phillips, one-time race leader, of course, Vinnie Phillips. Oh, how his fortunes have changed now. He now finds himself in 5th position behind his teammate. But this is a fascinating 2018 season. There are so many chapters being written every single time we come out to play this 2018 season. Still not very clear who's going to win the championship.
Yeah, indeed. Freddie Slater now made up 23 places. Luke Watts in 4th place there has made up 6. Aidan Neat's made up a couple in 7th place. Sam Shaw's now made up, what's that, Jake? Is that 16?
It is, yeah,
16 places there in 10th place. And Monica Canini Jr., who had that huge crash at Wilton Mill, lucky to get away with it. He's making up places down the field as well. He's into 12th now, starting P19.
Okay, it looks like the rain's getting heavier. You can tell that from the camera lens. There's a lot more spots on it this time, so everybody's going to have to work very hard. Is that a change of lead? I think McIntyre's through to the lead on Max Dodds. Yes, he is. He's got there. So he's been closing in on Max Dodds for a fair while now. He's managed to find a way to get through, but Max Dodds is going to come straight back at him in the final hairpin. Oh, that was beautifully done. He didn't surge himself too forward into the apex. He let the kart drift out. That was beautifully done. This is textbook in the wet.
Yeah, lovely. No contact at all. Final bend here at Paddock Bend. The right-hander. And you can hang somebody out to dry on the left-hand side there if they keep their foot in. But Will McIntyre, way too experienced for that. He knew the game was up and gave Maxwell Dodds the position back because he knows there's plenty of time to go.
Tell you what, that's my favourite kind of overtake when Dodds pulled off on that final hairpin there. He's so good at those.
Look at LINDBLAD, Jake.
He is so much closer to these guys than he was a couple of laps ago, and Dodds runs wide. That's the chance for McIntyre to come through. So easy to make that mistake, and now LINDBLAD's going to get himself back into contention. He's now right on the back of these two. Now, this is going to be interesting because two of these guys are in the same team. The leader is not, so they're going to have to find a way of dealing with McIntyre in tandem here. McIntyre's now wise to the move from Dodds. He's not going to give him the space, but Dodds is going to try and get the cut back.
Much narrower line there, and I can tell you now when Dodds goes for it, LINDBLAD's going with him, his teammate, no doubt about it. He's just looking for Maxwell Dodds to go for the lead here, and he will stick his front nose cone right on his rear bumper and go with him. Is he close in? He's not quite close enough now. He's looking for the switchback, coming outside, inside on the exit, but not close enough. It's still the 8 car of Will McIntyre that leads it. He's having a look behind him.
Yeah, see, in the dry, these guys would be working together and disappearing out into the distance, and then they'd fight on the last 2 laps. In the wet, you can't afford to do that because you haven't got a clue what the conditions are going to be like from one lap to the next.
Look at that, McIntyre's had 3 big looks behind him, and he's taken a narrow line. That's not the best line in the wet because you're on the rubber. But Maxwell Dodds tried to take the wide line at the Stewart S's last time where the grip would be, but McIntyre just helped himself up the inside and was able to hold on to it.
Full credit to Luke Watts. He is hanging with these guys in 4th position.
LINDBLAD.
LINDBLAD's going to make the move on the inside of his teammate. He thinks better of it. He's not quite close enough to make it work, but in 4th place, being caught by Freddie Slater, Luke Watts is still right there in the top 5. We talk about these 4, McIntyre, Dodds, LINDBLAD, Slater, always in the top 4, week in, week out. But who's the closest to them more often than not? It's Luke Watts. He's having a really good season, and great to see him right up at the sharp end. He's not in a big team compared to these 4 drivers. He is doing an amazing job with what he's got.
This is the penultimate lap, Jake. They'll get the last lap board when they go through the line next time. As the clock counts down to 0. Look at McIntyre. He's looking behind him virtually every 5 or 6 seconds. Doesn't need to look behind him now. He's just felt a little tap.
This is going to get pretty spicy in the next couple of corners because now LINDBLAD wants to get through on his teammate Dodds to lead the cavalry. Watts and Slater are right there. This could go anybody's way. LINDBLAD's starting to think, hang on a minute, Luke Watts is right behind us and Slater's there as well. We cannot afford to lose positions to him. We can gain a big amount of points on him. He's already lost ground. Slater's going to be desperate to get a victory out of this, and he's there in 5th position as we go into the last lap. This is going to be a tough one.
Last lap board held out. Look at the championship points top left. ARVID LINDBLAD here in 3rd place. He's got 4-point championship lead over his teammate right in front of him, Maxwell Dodds. If he overtakes him, that's an 8-point or 4-point swing effectively. He'll score 2 more. Dodds would score 2 less, and he would double his championship lead from 4 to 8. But can he get past last lap?
McIntyre's defending beautifully to the inside. Dodds is going to have to go out wide. He's got LINDBLAD to the inside. And there's opportunity for Freddie Slater as he gets a wheel on the grass there alongside Luke Watts for 4th position. Surely Slater's going to get there. Yes, he does. So Slater up to 4th position. Watch out, boys. The O-play is on your tail as they charge forward. Neat is in 6th position but out of touch. So this is an opportunity between these 5 effectively for the 3 places on the podium. McIntyre is nailed to the inside line. There's no way Dodds is coming through unless he can find a whiff of a gap. He's trying again. Watch Watts on the far side. He might get a place or 2 out of the final turn if he's got good grip on the outside, but McIntyre's done enough. McIntyre's held on from Dodds, LINDBLAD, Slater and Watts. McIntyre, that is one of the best defensive drives I have ever seen in Super 1. He held off not just any drivers, but Dodds, LINDBLAD, Slater and Watts to the bitter end. Absolutely incredible try from McIntyre to win a fabulous race. Neat in 6th position. Sam Shaw is 7th from Vinnie Phillips, Brandon Carr and Harley Keeble. Once again, the top privateer is Ella Stevens. Keep an eye on her towards the end of the season too.
Well, wins are like buses. You get one, and then all of a sudden, another one comes along, two at once. So your second win this season. Just talk us through your final race there.
Well, I started off really strong, but we were on the outside for the first corner, which was really annoying. So we went down to third, and then we hacked with ARVID, and we just managed to come along through. And then we caught up Vinny, went in Vinny, and we managed to get a little bit of a gap to ARVID. So we pushed on and had a little bit of a lunge on Max, came off, and we hacked a little bit, and then I started defending, and I managed to win the race from there.
Okay, who do you want to thank for your win?
I'd like to thank Fusion Motorsport, my mechanic Reese Wade, Dan and Neil for helping with data, helping me improving, my dad for bringing me along, and hope he enjoyed that race for Father's Day, and my mum and my sister from supporting me from back at home, watching me on live timing, texting me, well done Will, and everything like that. And Shocks, great engine. They trusted me in the dyno. Dyno was good, and the kart was good. And that's it.
Okay, well done.
Thank you.
Massive effort from McIntyre. Lindblad and Dodds lead the way though, with McIntyre in third. Slater slips to fourth. Aidan Neat is only 2 points back in fifth. Honda Cadet is up next.